They called him the Verse, not because he preached sermons, but because he'd murmur Bible passages while hunting bounties across the dusty plains of 4 states. Luke Harlan could quote Proverbs while drawing his revolver faster than a man could blink, dropping outlaws at 40 paces without a second thought. What the wanted posters never mentioned was that he was heading back to Willow Creek, Montana, after 6 long years, armed with proof of his innocence and a burning need to face the woman who'd once sworn she'd wait for him. The woman now wed to the town sheriff. On Christmas Eve 1890, with snow blanketing the rugged frontier like a forgotten promise, and the saloon lamps flickering against the cold night, Luke Harlan slipped into the crowded chapel. His steel-gray eyes scanned the pews until they locked on her. Anna Caldwell, stunning in her emerald wool dress, her gold wedding band glinting under the lantern light like a shackle. She glanced up, met his gaze, and in that instant, the walls they'd built around their hearts cracked wide open. What happens when buried secrets claw their way back to the surface? The past has a way of demanding its due, no matter the cost. Folks in Willow Creek swore Ben and Anna Caldwell had the ideal marriage. You'd hear it at the general store, over whiskey at the Rusty Nail, or during potlucks after Sunday service. Sheriff Ben Caldwell, pushing 50, with salt and pepper hair and a badge that commanded respect, tamed this booming mining town, bringing order where chaos once reigned. His wife Anna, 30 and schooled in Chicago, was the daughter of the late rancher Elias Grant, who died, leaving a mountain of gambling debts. Ben had settled every last one the day after their vows. Anna taught reading and arithmetic to the town's kids in the little red schoolhouse. She ran the women's league, nursed the ill, and kept their clapboard homes spotless with starched doilies and pies cooling on the sill. Ben provided handsomely. A sturdy house on Front Street, dresses from catalogs, even novels mailed from Billings. But if you paid attention, you'd see how her laugh never lit her eyes, how she'd linger on the porch at dusk, staring at the endless horizon where the mountains met the sky, or how Ben's hand would grip her arm just firm enough when a cowboy lingered too long in conversation. A woman's got her duties at home, not chasing whims, Ben would say, and Anna would smile politely, playing the role she'd mastered. Truth was, even the prettiest prisons teach you to forget your wings. Ben had good intentions. He'd buried his first wife to fever down in Kansas, helpless as she faded while he rode herd on cattle thieves. When he found Anna young, orphaned, scrambling to salvage her paws, Namihi saw a shot at safeguarding someone. He just never bothered asking if she wanted the cage. For days before Christmas, Ben declared he'd head to Helena on county business urgent talks with the U.S. Marshal. He'd return after the new year. "You'll manage fine," he told Anna, pecking her cheek like a kindly uncle. "Mrs. Ellis from next door will look in." Anna nodded, waved from the stoop as his wagon vanished in the flurries. Little did she know, 700 miles south, the man she'd loved was poring over a wire that changed it all proof. To clear his name, and he was already saddling up for home. The Christmas Eve service was packed tighter than a cattle car, families bundled in their best, kids squirming as Reverend Harlan Luke's estranged pack climbed the pulpit. Anna sat third row, center, her emerald dress feeling like a straitjacket in the stuffy room. She fanned herself with a prayer book, trying to heed the talk of forgiveness and fresh starts. Then she spotted him. A silhouette in the rear, cloaked by overcoats and shadows, tall and solid, hat tipped low. But those gray eyes unmistakable, the ones that starred her nightmares and dreams for 6 years, pierced right through her. Her breath hitched, the book tumbled. Luke Harlan, alive and here. He looked tougher, wiry from hard riding, with crow's feet and a jagged scar slicing his cheekbone, pale against his sun-beaten skin. But those eyes? Eternal. Memories flooded her. Lazy summers by the river at 16, his fingers in her curls at 18, the frantic night before he fled, backs against the stable wall, vowing eternity under the stars. "I'll return for you," Anna, he breathed against her mouth. Once I prove it wasn't me. 6 years of silence, of rumors he'd been gunned down, of molding herself into Ben Caldwell's wife instead of Luke Harlan's sweetheart. Now he stood there, and Anna's tidy world spun off its axis. Their stares collided across the congregation. He tipped his hat subtly, a hello, a query, a vow. Anna's fingers flew to her neck, her ring a sudden chokehold. When she blinked, he was gone, melted into the night like a phantom. But she felt in her gut, Luke Harlan was back. The old Harlan ranch house stood abandoned on the outskirts, boards creaking like old bones. Anna had no business going saddling her pony before dawn, packing a hamper for the needy on Christmas morn. But she rode out anyway. He waited on the rotting steps, as if time had paused. 6 years dissolved like frost in sunlight. Hello, Anna. His voice was gravelly now, edged with the wild. It sent chills racing through her, unrelated to the Montana freeze. Luke, she slid down, knees wobbly. They said you were dead. Folks say plenty. He rose, and she noted the changes. Taller, broader, twin peacemakers slung low on his hips, grips polished from Uja Hunter's gear. Most of it's hogwash. She yearned to rush into his arms, the girl she once was. Instead, she froze, recalling her vows, Ben's faith, the life she'd patched from ruins. Why now? She whispered. Luke dug out a packet from his duster, deliberate as a man who'd survived by outdrawing death. Found the real killer of Elias Grant. The name slammed her like a fist her own pa. Shot in his office 6 years back. The murder pinned on Luke, driving him into exile over a noose. Tracked him through 4 states, piecing clues. He passed the papers. Their fingers grazed, and time folded. Ranch ledgers, freight bills, sealed missives. Elias uncovered a graft ring. Luke said, stepping nearer, his scent of saddle leather and pine overwhelming. Politicos in 5 counties siphoning funds, greasing palms. He aimed to blow the whistle. Anna's hands shook scanning names, some that turned her stomach. So they silenced him, she breathed. And frame me, Luke growled, jaw set. Reckoned a reverend's boy-gone rogue would distract the herd. She met his gaze, seeing the toll the exile's burden. I'm sorry, she murmured. I should have trusted, known you couldn't. His palm cupped her face, tender as dawn. You did trust. Only one who did. That's why I'm here. The air crackled, perilous. 6 years ache honed to this edge. We can't, she said, leaning in despite herself. I know, but he lingered. 5 days on, Ben still in Helena. The house felt like a mausoleum, echoes and ghosts. Anna couldn't shake Luke's proof. Those familiar names gnawed. That night, she resolved. Ben locked his files in his desk, drawer official matters, not for a wife's eyes. Tonight they were. The key hid behind a panel in his room. She'd found it dusting years ago, tucked it away with her quiet defiances. The drawer yielded, dispatches, reports, a fat file labeled Grant case closed. Her pulse raced, flipping pages. Ben's notes, testimonies, exhibits. Clipped behind, suspects he'd been commanded to ignore, the same crooks from Luke's hall. Looking for trouble? She whirled, heart pounding. Luke loomed in the doorway, snow dusting his coat. Out back, door ajar. He entered, sealing them in. Risky, Anna. Anyone could stroll in. His lip quirked. Like you. I'm not just anyone. He advanced. Anna felt the isolation keenly, firelight carving his rugged features, her shift too sheer. Uncovered anything? He nodded at the desk. Ben probed but got shut down. She whispered. He's clean. Relief washed over Luke. Thank heavens. Couldn't stomach you hitched to a snake. She added, no, Ben's flawed, but honest ain't one. Luke reached for the file, body brushing hers, his winter musk dizzying. His arm pinned her lightly, breath failed. You ought to leave, she murmured. If Ben returns, not tonight. His fingers wove into her loose hair. Anna. She pivoted, pressing flush to him, hearts sinking in frenzy. This lunacy. Perhaps. His thumb skimmed her cheek, jaw, lip. But I've been mad without you. Time halted. 6 years yearning peaked here Anna, trapped between Luke's solid frame and her husband's desk, his touch igniting trails. Luke, she whispered, no denial. His hands spanned her waist, calluses rough through fabric from his brutal path. Tell me to stop, he rasped in her ear. Say walk, and I will. But words escaped. Air thinned. Fire danced on his face, blending the hardened drifter with her lost love, mirroring her solitude. Her palms flattened on his shirt, feeling heat, the thrum beneath. A fresh scar marred his neck, a badge of battles. You're wounded, she traced it. Mended. His grip tightened, drawing her in. Time fixes most. Inches apart. His breath warmed her lips, eyes flecked with silver. One tilt, one yield. I'm wed, torn from depths. I know. Foreheads met. He quivered. Lord, forgive, I know. But knowledge and desire diverged. Always had with Luke Harlan. Her fingers climbed his chest, shoulders, knotting in his nape hair. He groaned, raw hunger piercing her. 6 years, he breathed. Dreamed this. Luke, but his name was a supplication. His mouth hovered when noise shattered. Hooves thundering, riders closing on Front Street. They sprang apart. Anna clutched her throat. Through curtains, torch glow shadows. Hi! But Luke drew, iron smoothly. Sheriff's man, peering out, spotted me entering. Terror gripped. Panther-there's a trapdoor. Luke shook his no. If they find me, it ruins you. Won't let that happen. Horses halted. Voices barked, boots stomped porch. Anna Caldwell. Gruff, strange. Open. Marshal's warrant. Luke framed her face. Whatever they claim, you don't know me. Swear it. I can't swear. Won't see you hang for my ghosts. Pounding escalated. The door would splinter. I swear, she choked. He kissed her brow, swift, soft. Goodbye. Gone through the rear into the blizzard. Mrs. Caldwell, apologies for the hour. Deputy Marshal Silas Thorne on her step, hat doffed, but eyes flinty. Behind, 8 riders in the snow. Hunting a wanted man, Luke Harlan. We're calling for before your nuptials. Anna cinched her robe, steadying her voice. Luke Harlan? Thought he was long buried. Alive and lethal, ma'am. Thornite inside. Mind a search? Sightings match him nearby. No refusing. Why here, though? But she knew town gossip of their old flame lingered post-wedding. Men fanned out like predators, rifling rooms, appending chairs. Anna trailed, pulse deafening, bracing for betrayal's cry. None came. Fresh brew. A deputy sniffed the kettle. Sleepless. Anna lied. Calms the jitters. Thorne scrutinized her in the glow. You look rattled for an innocent. 8 guns in my parlor at midnight. Rattles anyone. He smirked coldly. Luke Harlan's charged with murder, conspiracy. Aiding him? Accessory gallows bait. Defiance surged. Lucky I ain't seen him then. They departed half an hour later, posting guards for safety. Anna slumped, trembling. Luke out in a freeze. Prey to wolves and badges as evidence, threatening empires. Names in Ben's file. Tycoons, pullers of strings, killers of truths. He'd face them solo, armed with grit and ghosts. Unless she intervened. The notion scared her senseless. But in her pristine parlor, donning her bought life, Anna realized perfection exhausted her. Dawn broke, icy sharp. Anna donned her finest sapphire gown, the one that sparked her eyes. If a courting scandal, do it with style. The derelict Harlan spread, hunkered amid furs and echoes. Guards tailed discreetly. Let them witness charity rounds no crime in goodwill. Luke was in the barn, currying a midnight, gelding as fierce as he. He turned, weariness etched deep. Shouldn't be here, nor you. She unpacked under loaves, garb, bandages, Ben's transcribed docs. Luke eyed papers, shifting. Anna, this topples half the state machine. They'd swing me for it, matter of fact. Aware. He strode over, seized her hands. Why chance all? She held his gaze as shaper of her soul-seeing boy and outlaw entwined. 6 years back, I was 20, terrified. Let them chase you off without a fight for us. Won't repeat. Fire kindled in his eyes, hope, ferocity. Hand squeezed. Enna. She hushed. More. Wired Helena Mornin. Real marshals, not Thorne's cronies. Here by New Year's. Luke paled. You don't get a thieves vipers kill threats. Then we stop him. She paced. Mind-whirring household smarts weaponized. Town hall tomorrow, New Year's bash at the chapel. Full house. And what she faced him, steel forged. Rancher's blood ran true. Time Willow Creek learns facts. But need you. No running this round. The Willow Creek chapel brimmed on New Year's Eve 1890. Lanterns aglow on finery-clad kin. Anna front row, prim as ever, heart thundering. She eyed the side entrance Luke's cue, if he dared, if he believed in her stakes. Reverend Harlan preached, Brethren, we ring out the old, welcome new. But first, reckon with yesteryear's wrongs. Her signal. She rose, gown whispering. Reverend spot on. Wrongs need righting, lies unveiling. Hushes fell. Mrs. Ellis gawked. Deputy Thorne rearward tensed. Enna, the Reverend started, but she ascended. Chin up. 6 years ago, this burg swallowed a falsehood. Pegged Luke Harlan for Elias Grant's killer, 'cause it was simple, safe not rocking boats with bigwigs. Side door creaked. Luke entered. Gasps echoed. He cut a figure, tall, shadowed, irons low, eyes sweeping dangers. But Luke Harlan slew no one. Anna pressed, voice firming. Elias died exposing state, graft thieves bleeding us dry. Thorne bolted up, hand on holster. Mrs. Caldwell, you're unhinged. Sit. Reckon not. Luke's tone sliced. Stepping into the light, the town beheld his evolution. Lady speaking. Listen. Thorne's crew edged weapons, but Luke's peacemakers flashed barrels steady. Steady, fellas. House of God mind manners. Anna brandished copies high. Proof. Ledgers, bills, wires twixt officials and magnates in 5 counties. Elias unearthed. They plugged him. Enough. Thorne snarled, drawing. Pandemonium, shrieks, shouts, kids wailing. Luke's shot cracked Thorne whirled, gun dropped, shoulder hit. Lives to trial, Luke called coolly. Crew surrendered, outmatched. Now, who wants the lowdown on your skim taxes these 3 years? 2 hours unpacked it. Names, dates, thefts gasping, the crowd pilfered from schools, minds, pockets. Outrage boiled. Last page done, Reverend rose. Seems my boy's cleared. The town owes heavily. Luke sheathed, facing condemners. No sorries needed. Just justice. The Northern Pacific whistle pierced Montana wilds as Anna, Harlan freshly sauced platform side with valise and hopeful heart. Graft hearings spanned 4 months. 14 indicted, 10 jailed, funds restored. Thorne rotted a decade in pen, pondering greed. Ben took truths roughly but fair. Home from Helena to uproar. He heard her out, silent. I wronged you, he admitted. Try protecting by clipping wings. That ain't love fear. Divorce amicable. Ben kept the home. Badgetown needed his core goodness, just redirected. Anna claimed heirlooms. Pa's locket, Ma's gown, liberty to chart her course. Luke exonerated, tapped federal marshal with pick of posts. Accepted, terms his. Bound for Oregon. Rails hiring teachers, lawmen needed, honest. Pacific promised vast blues, untamed futures. Ready? Luke asked, hand in hers as the boarding call sounded. Anna glanced at Willow Creek farewell, then to her scarred, resilient man still versed in scripture, heart true. Been ready 6 years. They boarded westbound, Anna and her verse, shedding old skins for rebirth's pledge. Frontiers thrived on redos. Some just claimed him late. What do you think about the story? Share your opinions in the comments below. Do you agree with Anna's decisions, or would you have handled things differently? Let me know your stance, and express your views. I'd love to hear from you.